Heal yourself to heal your relationship. What do I mean by that? Well, I remember a few years ago, my friend Ford, who's a man, he and I were hanging out. Honestly, we were at a bar, but that part doesn't need to be in the story. We were hanging out, and I had had an epiphany earlier on that day, and I shared it with Ford, and Ford likes to think about existential things with me. So he was right there for the conversation. He's like, yeah, I've thought about this before too. And this is the concept. I had the epiphany that my husband and I don't have one relationship. And I know what you're thinking. This is going off the rails a little. We don't have one relationship. We both have the relationship that we perceive in our relationship. So his relationship to me is different than my relationship to him. There is no such thing as one relationship. In your relationship, there are two versions of your relationship: the perception that your partner has and the perception that you have. And when you learn that, and when you explore that, and you think about, okay, how do I see our relationship? How does he see our relationship? And how can we bring those two versions close together? And how can I respect his version and have him respect my version? That's how a relationship heals. So I've already mentioned that the way through this entire journey is to move to an interdependent relationship, one in which you're the best version of yourself. You don't need to take anything from your partner. You don't feel the need to give him anything. And what that means is you relinquish control over the perception of your relationship. And then we encourage your partner to relinquish control over his perception of the relationship. And when addiction is in the mix, what has to happen on your partner's side is he has to go to work on getting addiction out of the relationship, because it is what has caused these strained dynamics and the dependency piece. And I'm going to teach you about that. But the way you heal your relationship is by focusing on your perception of your relationship and how your behaviors because of that impact your relationship. So that's how, when you heal yourself and you no longer need your partner to do anything to validate your existence. I know that's a big concept, but that is real, because you're going to validate your own existence. You're going to find your own self-worth inside of you, and it's going to bloom and blossom, and then you're not going to need anybody to validate you, because you're going to take care of that need yourself. And when you don't need that from someone, guess what? You're strong. And when you're strong, you can become vulnerable and you can share yourself with that person, but not because you need them to come into that and solve it with you, because you're in a partnership where you're there for each other, two strong people next to each other, lifting each other up as you go, instead of the back and forth, which I will talk about. When it comes to relationships that are strained, there's always a cycle of victim and perpetrator, and that cycle can flip-flop in a given conversation 15 times, where you feel victimized and then you get mad and you lash out at your partner and you victimize him verbally, and then he gets mad and he victimizes you back. That is the unhealthy dynamics that we're moving away from, and we're moving into strong dynamics, strong individuals going through this amazing life together as the best version of themselves. So you're going to focus on your side of the street as hard as it can be. You're going to trust that your partner is going to take care of his side of the street. I know trust is not an easy thing right now, but as long as your partner is in a program that is a strong one, that is supported by science, and he has the proper support in it, he will move through a process. Yes, we want that process to be as fast as possible, but you have to allow him to move through his process without managing it for him. If you manage it for him, he will not come out of it the other side in the way that he needs to. You have to manage your program to heal yourself so that you're strong and you can handle what he has going on. You can set boundaries, which I will teach you. You will hold boundaries because you're strong. And when you do that, he will be forced to move through his process. and it will happen, and the healing of the relationship will come online. Now, what if your relationship can't heal? Follow me through to the next lesson, and I'll share that with you then. I'll see you there.